Hello everyone, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. Today I like to talk one more time about one thing that was one of the key pillars of the values of a great project manager and a great human being, by the way. It's about diversity. If we go back and start watching the news in the past months, we had the sad opportunity to see a lot of sexual harassment cases against women and men by extremely powerful people, extremely famous people. We have seen recently statements from very relevant people that could be perceived as racist. We saw a lot of people being discriminated because of their religion or because of their sexual orientation or even because of some kind of disability. And honestly, I truly thought that this was something that was part of our past. And unfortunately, it seems that the life is a cycle and a circle, and we are back to these challenges again. So let me be very clear here. And first, I want to talk technically. Projects are unique and new. Projects are innovative. Projects require creativity. Projects require different thinking. It's impossible to think differently if you only talk to the same people, if you only talk to the people with the same view as you. So you need to understand that diversity is something that builds new ideas. Diversity is something that challenges the current status quo to allow you to see things differently. So it's very important. If I go back to my 4.5 years at the UN, and I can tell you that probably the biggest asset I take to my life is working with different people. And different people means people that had a different childhood. I'm not saying poor or rich, just different. People with a different belief. People with different religions. People with different views of relationship. And these people, I'm not saying just to make friends, but in a project environment to work together. They question things that you may not question. And this is what allows you to see things differently. And this is what makes you succeed as a professional. And I want you to understand that if you do not think that this can contribute, you will fail miserably. You need to understand this. Imagine a football or basketball. Imagine if all players, they are good in one specific skill. The game will not be a good game because you need, for example, if it's a football, a soccer, someone needs to be able to hold the ball in the goal. Another needs to be fast to attack. So you need this diversity with a common objective, and this is what builds a team. You cannot have a great team with 11 goalkeepers. This is not what makes that think alike, that give value to the same things. So it's very, very critical. And today is Martin Luther King Day. So it's even one more reason for me to record this podcast. So it's unacceptable that we believe that someone is more or less competent because of the color of the skin, or because the person is gay or straight, or if it's because it's Muslim, it's Buddhist or Christian. In reality, when you are delivering a project, this difference will build a better product, a better service. And finally, one word that I used many, many times, and I want to make you rethink on that. We talk about intolerance, and then we start saying that we need to tolerate. And I used this word a couple of times and say we need to tolerate difference. And let me correct that. We do not only need to tolerate, we need to foster, we need to embrace difference, because in a planet with 7 billion people, it's impossible to have every single one thinking alike. And the last time that someone thought like that, the results were not so positive. We saw this in the Second World War. So think about that and think that this is not a self-help please, a podcast. This is a project management podcast. If you see the projects I'm handling today, all of them, they embrace this diversity. Cultural, geographic, gender, and this is what makes my projects more successful. Remember that. Enjoy your week. Happy Martin Luther King Day, and see you next week with another 5 Minutes PM podcast.